everyone, today is the 2nd of March 2023. Today the weather is not too bad, it's nice and dry. It's definitely got colder, and this weekend it's going to get even more colder, maybe even some snow next week, so I really need to get this wing back on today. It's all looking good, ready to go back on. Repaired panels done. I've been thinking about this. I may not weld this to the car. I might put in a self-tapping screw or two, but we will see in a bit. Right, let's try and get cracking with this. I've got a nice cup of tea, keep me warm. Right, get the bonnet up. Wings go up a little bit as well. It's a little bit sheltered here, so it's not quite as bad. Right, yeah, what I'm thinking is I might be able to get a self-tapping into there just to stop the bottom of that wing, because we've got bolt here, be a nut and bolt here, captive bolt there, nut and bolt there, and a nut and bolt there, and then of course 3 bolts where the hockey stick go. Right, let's crack on with that. Right, so we've got a small nut and bolt at the front here. There's a new one there. There's a new one at the back, and then the captive ones behind there. One at the back here, one there. They're all just in finger tight, or as far as I can get them with my fingers. Get some spanners and tighten them up. But first of all, I just want to line up and get this hockey stick on this side, which is here, and they have like studs which I'll unscrew with nuts on. They're seen better days, but if they'll still do up, should be fine. I just need to find a nut for that one, and we'll get this on. Luckily I got these little tubs of bolts and nuts and loads of washers I've kept over the years, and some of these I got from my father. He used to always collect them whenever he took anything apart what he weren't going to put back together. He used to keep all the nuts and all the bolts, and I've started doing it now, and it's really come in handy when you need a nut and bolt, because you can't always just nip out and get one. If you have a rummage through, you might find one, which we have. We just found a little nut and a little washer that will fit this stud, so I can now get this back on the car, hopefully. Don't go too far. Got the hockey stick on, and I've tightened up my 2 new bolts I've put in with the big washers, so now it's just all the old captive ones. And to get in there easier, I think I will jack up and take this wheel off, just to make it easier to get to. Well, like I said before, I could have either welded it or self-tap it. So I found a self-tap it for there, and I'm just going to put another one there just to be double safe. But this wing is now quite attached, but we've got another problem, which I'll talk about in a second. I'll just get this screw in here. Do that fine. So that wing now is not going anywhere. And like I just said, we have got another problem. If you look on the ground here, you can see it's wet. When I took the wheel off, I noticed this. You can see at the bottom of the drum. So that means we've got a leak. Probably one of the cylinders popped, and we did say when we looked at these, not sure whether one had been leaking or not. That wasn't leaking at the time. It's been sitting here now, what, a couple of weeks I reckon, and today of all days has decided to pop. But it's annoying, because I did want to get the paint on under here, get the wheels back on and go for a spin. So that ain't going to happen now, because I've had a look in the garage and I have not got any wheel cylinders. I haven't took off yet to see which one it is, but Yeah, that's a pity, isn't it? But never mind. Like I said before, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But I'll just carry on with what I'm doing now and whip this off and have a look what's going on. Right, so I'll just remove this little screw, loosened off the hub a little bit. So we'll pull this off right now so you can have a look at the same time as I'm having a look. Hopefully we'll get that in there. Hopefully you'll be able to see. See it's soaking wet inside that drum, which is not good, and you can see it's all wet inside here. Shoes will be contaminated now, but sometimes you can clean them up and they'll be alright. Right then. This old brake fluid out of the drum. Yeah, that is annoying, isn't it? So that would have to go and happen. But just one of them things. Not much you can do about it, is there? It's happened. Guessing as this one was leaking, look. Yeah, it looks a bit wet around there, don't it? Like I said before, I think this one was a bit suspect. So what we can do now is dismantle that. See if I can find my brake clamp to put on this hose so that all the fluid doesn't come out. Right, I cannot find my brake clamp. All it does is just go on the pipe, crushes it to stop the fluid coming through. Anyway, I pulled the shoes out, just removed the springs. I'll show you how that go back together when we put it back on. This is the cylinder was leaking, so you can see there's all fluid around it, but the other one's not looking too good neither, so I'm going to see if I can get a pair of those just to make sure everything's alright. But that has like stopped the game for the minute, and I don't know where that clamp is. That's really annoying. It's probably somewhere in there looking at me, but I've let the place get a bit of a tip. I need to have a tidy up. Right, what I'm going to do now is see if I can find a piece of wire just to put round these, just to keep these cylinders in, because if they fall out all the fluid will run out. That just makes it easier to bleed them up if you stop it from here. I'll have another look round for the clamp. Might be in the bus. I can't remember using it on there, but I might. Just annoying. For the time being, yep, I'll put some wire around those, keep them in. Have a look online, order a couple of cylinders. Got some wire on the cylinders to stop them popping out. Just put the hub back on. Brake shoes are in here. I'll have a clean up with some of this brake cleaner, but it's pointless in doing too much until they go back on. We'll talk about how these adjusters work and stuff when we put it back together. I need to get on with what I've got to do now. I've ordered some new cylinders, so until they come I can't do anything with that, and they definitely won't be driving George. So let's get these wires through on the lights and get the paint under here. Right, so I've got the headlights back in and wired up. they're working fine. The indicators, I've left this tape round because I've got a little problem with the indicator. I think I've blown the flasher unit, so I need to get another flasher unit. Because it's an LED one, I haven't got one anywhere in my shed, so I'll have to order one of those, but that's nothing to worry about. So what I'm doing now, as you can hear, I've got the compressor fired up. I just want to stick some underseal around here. I had a clean up underneath here, that's why I've blocked off the exhaust with a bit of plastic. I just want to spray a bit on for now up to this centerpiece on this side, so that'll get that done. That's the plan. Right, let's go and crack the underseal. I've got it indoors at the minute in a bowl of hot water because it's cold today. That'll just flow better. As you can see, just put a coat of this underseal on. I'm just going to do under here now where I've wire brushed it. So that'll do. That's that covered. Should keep the water out, the rust out for a little while. And like I say, I don't know if you can see, but I've done a bit underneath here to that middle section. I'll do some more under the front and on the other side another time. I'm just getting short of time now because what I'm planning to do now is get the wheel back on George and clear a space in the garage so I can push George in. So he's out of the way for a few days. That's the plan. Right, so we've got the wheel back on. That's looking good. Right, I've got the problem now with the brakes obviously, but better than that go now than what it was if I was out and about, so that'll be done. I'm sure somewhere in here I've got some brake shoes. I'll have to have another look, but if you can see, I've just had a bit of a tidy up. And the reason is I'm going to see if I can get George to come in here. One reason, because I need the space here next week for something what's going on, and also that'll keep him nice and dry, won't it, if the snow do come. I don't know when I'm going to do a bit more, probably be next week now, as I'm busy from now on. It's a pity we didn't get a chance to go for a little ride, but we know he runs alright. We've been out with him before. I was going to do much more today. I wanted to change the oil, I wanted to get the other side off, clean up, do under, but just time just goes and goes really fast, especially when you're enjoying yourself. So the next thing is to roll George into the garage, and hopefully there's enough room so I can get the door down. George is tucked away into the garage. I made plenty of space. Now I can just pull him out when I need to. So like I say, it might be a few days now before I can do anything else with George. I've got other things I need to do. That leaves me to say thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.